Greetings fellow captains and welcome back to another episode of World of Warships with the Hive Hand. And today we are going to talk about the tricks and tomfoolery that Wargaming use, not just in World of Warships Legends, in basically every single game they produce, to try and help empty your wallet. And I'm going to run through what I think are the 8 main ones that they use, and yeah, that's what we're going to be discussing today. So first of all is in-game currency. There's two in-game currencies at the moment. Doubloons is the big one that everyone knows about, so we'll start off with doubloons. Right, so why is doubloons a trick? Right, okay, so how much is a doubloon? Thought I'd give you a few seconds. Think about that. You don't know. How much is 100 doubloons? How much is 1,000 doubloons? Now, some of us have been around the game long enough. We've bought enough doubloons that we've got a rough idea. Like, oh, you know, 2,500 doubloons is what, £6-7, or you know, $9-10, so on and so forth. But that step change in real money to in-game currency takes away that instant like recognition of the true cost of something, and this will throw people off. And the typical question is like, oh, there's a new ship, it's 17,000 doubloons, I want it, or I've got 8, right, so I need 9,000 doubloons, so alright, this ship is only going to cost me, let's have a look. We'll just do it live. Yeah. So I need 9,000 doubloons. Ah, right. Well, that's going to cost me 30 quid by the 11,000 doubloons. Although I've got 2,500 doubloons more than I need, which kind of brings us along neatly into trick number 2. And I know I said there's 2 in-game currencies, don't worry, we'll get to the second one a little bit later on through the video. But trick number 2 is how the doubloons are packaged. Alright, so let's have a look here, shall we? So, where's the smallest one? There's the smallest one. 1,250 doubloons is the smallest. 2,750, 5,625, 11,500, 20,500, 30,000, and 47,000 doubloons. Okay, so what can I buy with 1,250 doubloons? Well, first of all, not a lot at all. Admiralty backing is 2,500. So if I want Admiralty backing, I'll either have to buy 2 of these little packages, or it's going to be easier and it's going to cost me about the same to buy this. But then I've got 250 more doubloons than I need. So you're always purchasing more than what you actually require, and what that does is that keeps an amount of doubloons taking over on your account all the time. You can see them there in bright gold. You have X amount of doubloons, and you can, you know, they're to use. It's showing you you've got these to use day in, day out. You know, let's have a look at ship tier costs. I kind of know these off my head. So tier 3 is 37,500 doubloons. Right, okay. So, am I gonna buy this 2,750 and the 1,250 to give me 4,000 doubloons? For what's that? 7. 8, 9, 10. £10 odd? Or am I, because it's easier than calculating what I need that and that, am I just going to buy this one? Am I just going to buy 1,500 doubloons for £15? I think most of us are going to go for the 15 doubloons, £15, because it's easier, right? And then again, you've got that surplus. A tier 4 is 6,250 doubloons on their standard price. Obviously, there's sales on now and again. But 6,250, right, okay, so that's this package here, and this one here. Well, no, actually, we could get away with the 1,251, but that's conveniently popped off over to the side there. Or am I gonna go... Oh, well, it's not that one, it's not that one. Oh, well, I'm gonna have to get that one. I'm gonna have to spend £30 and get the 11,500 doubloons. 3,750, more than I need. But that's the general thought process. Tier 5, 10,000. Well, let's be honest, it's going to be £30 package, 11,500 doubloons. That's what the majority of people are going to buy. Now, there's definitely going to be some people when they get to tier 6 where it's 12,500 doubloons for a ship that's not going to go, right, I'm going to buy these two here. Because these are very conveniently designed in how they place them as well. Where I could buy this and this one that's sort of hidden off to the side. I guarantee there's going to be people who go, right, well that's not enough. Well, I'm just going to spend £110 instead. You know, you could go over here and only spend 53 and still have more than enough. But it's all these psychological little tricks. It's like, you know, you go through here and it looks like these are the options. You go up and then it's, oh, hang on, that goes lower. These, you know, it displays these first because these are the ones they want you to buy. So yeah, tier 6, tier 7 is 17,500. Let's be honest, even if you're paying attention, that's the one you're gonna buy. You're gonna buy the 2,000 one, although that's gonna cost you 53 quid. Although the smartest way to do it would cost you 48 by buying these two together. I believe they nudge you just over. Oh, I think it's actually these three. If you buy these three combined, 30. No, it's not. Hang on. Got all the. Got my mind a little bit garbled here because, well, I have actually made a spreadsheet of these. So let's have a look, shall we? So £48 I can get it for. So yeah, it's buying 1,250, the 11,000 and the 5,000 would only cost me £48. But let's be honest, most people, and me probably included, we're going to pick the £54 one because it's just more convenient. It's easier than trying to calculate, well, I need to buy these three to get this ship at the cheapest possible price. And then again, you're left with the excessive doubloons that you wouldn't necessarily want to have. And again, it sort of takes away, you know, you get those little amounts totaling up. So, you know, like now I've got 4,045 doubloons, or a random number. What the hell can I... If I try, I cannot spend all that unless I spend it on another currency, which we'll talk about in a moment. But do you see how it works? Like, none of the doubloon packages measure up with what they sell. So we know they don't match up with the ships. Let's have a look. Premium time. No. None of the bundles match up. So 9,000, so you'd buy the 11,000. 6,500, well, you need the 5,000 package plus the 1,000 package for. Alright, granted you only have 125 left over from that, but then what are you going to spend 125 on? You could buy a extra premium day, so you could get 31 or 14.99 or whatever it happens, whatever it was. So yeah, there's all these little tricks. And I guess that sort of brings me on neatly to trick number 3, which is, in fact, this might surprise you, daily free crates. Where's your daily free crates? Right, well, I've got to go into the store and, oh, hello, Santa crate for 500 doubloons. That's quite cheap. That's half price. Okay, no, it's not in doubloons. That's over here in offers. I've collected my free crates, but you get the point. It'd be here and like, oh look, common bundle for 600. What's that for? What are these going to get me? A couple of promotion orders. You know, that's less than half price. That's 60% off. It's got to be a good deal, right? All these little bundles and these little things on the feature page, alright, some of them are not so little, are designed to help alleviate you of those couple of thousand doubloons that you get left over every month from buying your premium time, or buying the Admiralty back in, or completing the campaign where you get the 1,250 doubloons back. These are all little things, so to incentivize you to spend them. So that's why, if, I don't know if anyone remembers, but originally we used to have the daily free crate here, but we don't anymore. It's not on the featured page. It forces you to look through. Okay, I've done it so many times now. I've probably collected about 900 free crates over the last 3 years, if not more. But I know I go to the store and I just tap R1 twice and there. But it's to get you into that option, or that habit of going into the store every single day to get your free crate and then showing you all of these special offers before you get to it and right next to it, which is all to alleviate that little bit. You know, you sit in there and I've got 2,000 doubloons. Like, yes, it's not gonna. I'll have to buy more doubloons for my next Admiralty back in anyway, so I might as well. So yeah, that is trick number 3. Is that number 3? Was that trick number 4? I'm getting myself a bit lost here. And put us on. We'll call it trick. We'll call that number 4. We'll go. I might have messed my numbering up here. Trick number 5, global XP. Yes, global XP is, in fact, a currency. It's grind or pay to progress. It's quite simple as that. It has an average return of about 5% of your XP. So on an average game, without a premium ship, or without a premium time, you're looking at somewhere in the region of 200 to 300 XP per battle. That is approximately 8,000 battles, or 1,200 hours of solid gameplay to get the Stalingrad. Or you can convert Elite XP, which you gain Elite XP, you gain at the regular rate, at the 100% rate of your XP. So 2 million would probably take you 1,500 to maybe 1,500 to 2,000 games, and you can convert it all for 200 quid, or 140 when there's the XP event on. So to put that into perspective, if you're running a premium ship and you have a premium account, it is quite easy or quite achievable to expect to be somewhere around 2 million global XP after about 1,000 battles or 150 hours. 8 times faster when you use a premium account and when you use premium ships. So it's another psychological in 2 ways. This one is, well, if I run a premium ship and a premium account, I'm going to get this much faster. And there's also the incentive to just outright buy it, to outright pay pay to progress, shall we say. Then, let's move on swiftly to the next sneaky little trick. And that is, of course, the Admiralty backing. Now, it seems like harmless. Actually, it seems like potentially actually quite a nice thing, the Admiralty backing. The Admiralty backing itself it's not necessarily an evil monetization policy. It's just a bit of a habit builder. So basically what you get is you pay 2,500 doubloons. Yes, of course, you can boost it up. You get all these items along the way. They're typically somewhere between 50 and 70,000 doubloons worth of in-game items from completing the Admiralty backing. But the Admiralty backing is split down into tiers, into weeks. So not the most terrible habit builder in the world, but it is going to require you to spend at least a couple of hours every single week playing the game. Which sets us off directly into the direction of the bureau for trick number 8. And that is, as you can see here, we have the daring on its way. Progress in 24 hours. We're going to gain, what's that, call it 1.7 million research points, or whatever they are, over the next I'll add those research points because I quite like the daring. I'm looking forward to getting this back. But again, another psychological trick used to build a habit. You need to log in every day, otherwise your bureau project's going to take forever. And when you log in, you're going to play, you're going to grab your daily crate, you're going to see all the other crates, you're more likely to have a cheeky game or two, which in all fairness, technically, I don't think is bad. But it's just another psychological trick that game designers use to get people to stay engaged with their game and come back and get into that habit of jumping on every single day. And I guess this is going to lead us furiously on to the last, but certainly not the least, in the psychological tricks used to empty your wallets, and that is loot boxes. Now, the daily crates kind of give you the potential of those endorphins of, ooh, opening a box, what am I going to get to see? If anyone's watched any of my streams, like quite often you'll see me sitting there with a ton of unopened boxes, because I hate loot boxes with a passion, and what I'll do, I will not open them for weeks, sometimes even months on end, and then I'll just open them all at the same time, and I will not care. I will not look. I don't care what's in them. I just despise them. Do I pick them up? Because yeah, sometimes there are useful things in there. Sure, there are. I'd probably have run out of premium days by now if it wasn't for the free crates, but that's my way of keeping myself away from that temptation of getting excited about loot boxes. There's a million videos out there in YouTube about the evils of loot boxes. I don't want to get into it because honestly, I probably couldn't articulate my distaste for loot boxes in any kind of productive way, and no way better than 90% of the videos out there that have gone into loot boxes into great detail. But I guess that kind of leads us on, at least, to our conclusion. So with all these sneaky psychological tricks to keep us engaged, does that make wargaming evil? Give you a second. Probably took you less than a second to go, yes they are. I hate them. Honestly though, I kind of feel like I need to say no, and it's for a few good reasons. So hear me out before you hit that thumbs down button and start swearing at me in the comment section, okay? Alright. It's just how the game industry has always been. Their businesses. Their purpose is to extract money out of you using their products. Granted, it's probably got a bit worse in recent years, but go back to, I don't know how old all of you, how old you are all out there, but like, surely even the youngest ones of you must have seen an arcade machine. So back in my day, when I was just a little whippersnapper, home consoles, PCs, they didn't really exist. If you wanted to play a game, you had to go down to an arcade, put money in, and play the game. And the way it would work, you'd either have lives or sometimes timer. Particularly on race games, you'd get timers and you'd have set gates to go through. So there was an element of skill involved, but yeah, you pretty much, most games, I think some games technically you probably could have won with just, you know, one turn's money's worth into them if you were really highly skilled. But let's be honest, that's not really the case. You had a pay to play system going on there. So you drop your coins in, off you go. Then sort of home consoles came out, so instead of you putting, you know, 10-20 pence into into your Mrs. Pac-Man down in the arcade, next thing you know, you're paying 30, 40, 50 pounds for a cassette for your Commodore 64, for a cartridge for your Amiga. So what you were getting then, you were getting the same experience, but instead of paying for time, you're paying for the whole game. And compared to going to the arcade, they were actually pretty damn expensive, in all fairness. And then online gaming came out, and I believe it was Baldur's Gate. I don't know if anyone was that much of a geek, but Baldur's Gate, which is like mid 1990s, I think. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to Google this. Bear with me 2 seconds. I know this isn't saved, so I should probably be able to edit that out. So Baldur's Gate. There's so many different bloody editions of it now. First DLC release date. I believe, I could be wrong, so no, it wasn't 2016. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance was December. Dark Alliance wasn't the first one. That was December 2001. So Baldur's Gate came out in 1998. Yes. Because I was obviously just a young man then. And then the first ever DLC, so the first ever additional paid content for a game, was in 1999. So this has been going on for more than 20 years. I forget. Actually, we're all kind of aware of, I'm assuming, Candy Crush, Farmville, all these other games that use these small microtransactions. Microtransactions became a thing. I believe Skyrim, I didn't say Skyrim, I think, was it Oblivion? Was it Oblivion? You could buy that skin for your horse, the horse armor that done nothing, it just made you look cool as shit. That was probably the first microtransaction in a game. And the games companies have just been spewing these systems out for years and years and years. Star Wars Battlefront 2 was probably the most egregious one. I bought Star Wars Battlefront 2 and I bought the advanced, like, it was like 80 quid edition, and I remember that I'd have to play for like 40 hours to grind out to be able to play as Darth Vader, or spend an extra 40 quid on top of, so it's £120 to play as Darth Vader, or grind for like 40 hours straight to actually, like 40 hours of actual gameplay, not waiting for lobbies and stuff to get it. And then they had those bloody cards that you could buy, so loot boxes, you get cards. Cards would give you like upgraded weapons, upgraded shields, upgraded TIE fighters, to a point where, yeah, I believe that one might have caused the biggest online outrage ever, and that was the first time I think anyone really looked at loot boxes as anything sort of significant in the world, should I say. So anyway, what's the point? What am I getting right? Well, there was one more point. Gran Turismo. Like Gran Turismo, I played every single Gran Turismo 2, GT Sport, Compazoni version that they'd done, which was another weird sort of like, we're working on the next one. And then when I bought Gran Turismo 5, to find out that you were limited to how much cash you could store, see how little amount of cash you got in the races. Oh, look at that, you can buy 10 million credits for X amount. Oh, do you want to get these cars? Well, here's a car pack. Like, Gran Turismo has never ever had anything like that in it. Gran Turismo 5 slaps you with it all. So essentially, what I'm trying to say is, Wargaming could be worse. They could be significantly worse. Do I think that some of their content is expensive? Yes, it probably is. Do I think that if they made it cheaper, more people would buy it? No. Because if they could make money by making it cheaper, so more people would buy it, don't you think they would do it? If they are the evil, money-hungry overlords that they're supposed to be. Like, no, it's just what they're doing is the most efficient way to make them profit. The game is free to play. Think the Gran Turismo made me think about it. New set of cars come out. On a paid game, you have to pay on Gran Turismo. We get a new ship line. Granted, the first month it's hidden behind loot boxes. I know, but then becomes free to play and progress through for everyone. So, as aggressive and as evil as Wargaming may seem, honestly, and I guess when you put it into context, like, I don't know how many games everyone else plays. You know, there's definitely some amazing games with no monetization in there. Elden Ring, for a start, you know, amazing game. Probably Game of the Year. I don't know, I haven't checked to see what has been Game of the Year. If it's not Game of the Year, then game journalists absolutely suck. But Elden Ring will make less money than next year's FIFA Ultimate Team loot box cards. So yeah, well, I guess what I'm saying is like yes, there's these dirty little tricks in there, but they could be worse. And I know I'm in a weird position where I get a lot of stuff for free. I still spend money on the game, even though I get a lot of stuff for free. I still personally invest my own money into it as well. So it's not like I'm just sitting here laughing at all the peasants having to pay whilst I pay nothing. But I do understand that I'm in a privileged position. But like, I'll play a lot of other games as well, and when you put it into perspective, like if this is the only game you play, I'll 100% see why you'd look at this and go, this is absolutely disgusting. Those evil, money-hungry, and a couple of bleeps or whatever in there, yeah. But when you put it into perspective of what's going on elsewhere, yeah, yes, they're definitely tricks. Yes, they're definitely using well-researched psychological tactics to get you to spend more and more money. But things could be 100% worse. And I think, on that note, it's probably best to call it there. So thank you very much to everyone who stopped by. And of course, until next time, take care.